have a celebrity on the show. Stay with us. You're going to want to hear this. I am so glad you're here because I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I have a celebrity on the show today. His name is Jon Colby, and he has just been named in the top 10 speakers for 2025. And Jon, as soon as I read the point, you have been named one of the top 10 speakers along with Disney execs and Olympic coaches. How do I know you if you're this important?
Well, first of all, how am I? I'm not that important. So let's not get that mixed up. I don't even know. They won't tell you who nominated you or but once you get in, they say there's a vetting system and then a team of people, and MSN.com says I'm worth listening to, I guess.
I think it's absolutely fantastic because you and I met in December of last year. You were speaking at one of my clients' Christmas events, and I did not know you were going to be there. I knew nothing about the event, and you absolutely knocked my socks off. The response the team gave, the engagement that they had with you, it was absolutely spectacular. So I'm not at all surprised that you have been recognized and that people are starting to identify your skills with this. But you've got to start from the beginning. How did you get started, and why are you doing this?
Okay, so how did I get started? So I do improv comedy, and I was a high school teacher. I taught theater and video production. So I'm comfortable on stage and in front of people. I also like teaching people stuff. And so I started getting approached about doing these small little workshop things. So I would work with companies and go in and talk about how to be better leaders, better listeners, better communicators, just basically making people feel heard. That's kind of what I'm all about. It's the improv. Number one rule is yes and. And so yes means start from agreement instead of negating everyone all the time. And means speak up. Everybody on the team should speak up. And so it became a passion of mine. And I just loved it, but it was always just going to be my side hustle. I love teaching as well. But it finally got to the point where I had some gigs where some pretty well-known leaders in different Fortune 500 companies started saying, like, you should be doing this full time. And so in 2019, I jumped in the pool. I always said I was kind of on the edge of the pool with my feet in, and I finally jumped in, and I'm like, 2019, what could go wrong? And then in 9 months later, things got a little rocky, but I figured out how to do virtual just as well with, interactive components to it. And I've been speaking full time for about 6 years now. And the secret to me is I was probably a bright student, but I didn't get great grades because I was bored. So I like to speak in a way that I would have listened to.
Well, that's what's absolutely amazing. Our audience, let me break first. Our audience are not just human resource specialists, but they're also business owners. They're controllers, they're office managers, they're spouses, they're individuals who haven't necessarily had the training to do organizational development or to coach employees through. And one of my biggest messages on the show has been, you've got to train. You have to train, and in that training, you have to always be emphasizing that everybody speaks the same language. That whatever the policy is in the company, or whatever the federal or state law that we're trying to enforce, everyone's on the same page. And some of the interactive skills type, well, they weren't skills, but the engaging activities that you had them do. I cannot lie. I have actually stole a couple of them and applied them to a couple of my clients. In fact, I did an interview with your listening activity where we have to use the last letter of the last thing somebody says. And it was absolutely amazing how effective that was.
Thanks. Yeah. For me, again, my brain is scattered. I mean, if I'm just in a normal conversation with a friend, I'm always thinking about what I want to say or add to the conversation, so I'm not always listening. And then in the business world, let's be honest, when you're talking to a customer or a client or even an employee, you're thinking about your response. You're thinking about how you're going to pitch this. If it's a sales call, you're thinking about how to defend yourself if you're in an argument instead of just listening. And all the research in the world says the number one thing people want in every area of their life is to be heard. And so if we just take the time and listen to people instead of just planning what we're going to say, we have more authentic conversations because we're actually hearing each other, but we also have more fruitful conversations because we're both starting from a place of understanding instead of just trying to get our points across.
And when we think about the roles that everyone's playing, there's so much emotion that tends to get tied up that we really do shut down on listening. But you mentioned 4 very specific things in terms of participate more, accepting value. Why would I have written down those 4 words?
Participate more, and what was the other part?
Accepting value.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, participate more. If I feel like I'm a part of something, I'm going to work harder. If I feel like if I'm participating, it now matters to me. So I'm not just being told what to do, I'm participating in it. And then the value part, again, like I said before, people want to feel like they matter. We also want to feel like the work we're doing matters. Like everything is about, value is one of my favorite words. Like if there's no value in it for me, I'm not going to do it well. But if I understand why my job helps make the bigger thing better, all of a sudden I feel like there's value in my work and I take more pride in it.
Well, I think I fell in love with you when you started using the term enabling and your program started addressing why are we enabling and what are you enabling, because that is a major message on this show as well. Help the audience understand a little bit more about how you address that.
First of all, if you're not enabling other people to do things, you're exhausted all the time. You're doing all the work, right? So first of all, enabling takes something off of your plate. Also, when you enable other people, all of a sudden you build a team that can do a whole lot more than you can do by yourself. And I think a lot of people don't want to enable people for one of 2 reasons. Number one, they don't trust their people. Or number 2, they don't want to take the time to really teach other people how to do whatever that skill or task is. But I think what we fail to realize is, sure, it's going to take a little while longer to get other people to understand your processes or what you want as a leader. Once they get it, it's taken care of. And then you can go on and move on to something else, and you enable different people in different areas of your life. It's like, it's how the world works. I mean, if you think about whether you think about royalty, like the kings, they have people that do everything, but also so do presidents and so do governors and so do mayors. They have a team of people that all work on specific tasks. So the president, whether it's the president of a country or the president of a company, doesn't have to do all the work. And then it comes down to this. If you can't leave your job for a couple of days to go on vacation or you're sick, you haven't enabled enough people to fill in for you. And I hear that all the time. Like, well, I can't be gone. I'm like, then you're not doing it right? You enable your people so you can, again, trust them. And if you don't trust them, maybe you don't have the right people.
Well, I also sense a lot of insecurity in leaders who do not want to enable, or who enable the reverse and allow too much, and they enable their people to do all the wrong things rather than explaining and correcting and getting them realigned to the objectives and purposes of the company. So no, you're absolutely right. If we've got a leader who cannot understand how to balance that, as I say many times, get that leader out of there. We have another major issue. I'm going to put you on the spot because I had no idea that you had some big announcement to make, but I am going to give you the chance. I want you to tell the audience about the new offerings that you're going to be offering, making available to everybody with your videos.
Oh, yeah. You threw me off there. I was worried. I'll put you on the spot. I'm like, oh, no. So the Colby Leadership Institute is literally days away from completion. I've been approached a lot of times after I speak, and they're like, do you have a book? And I'm like, no. And I started writing one, and I said, this doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work, I mean, you've seen some of these games, just trying to explain the game is confusing. So I was like, I need a way for them to see the game. I want them to see how it works. So what I ended up doing, one of my clients has a subscription-based model. That's what their whole company is. And so they kind of help get the idea in my head and get the visual of what it would look like. So basically, the Colby Leadership Institute is an online community that you'll be able to join. And there are currently 6 different modules. And so I'll give a couple examples. One of them is on conflict de-escalation. One's on emotional intelligence. One's on running better meetings. There's 6 different topics, but then under each topic, there are 3 to 5 lessons, and each lesson includes a game that you can play with your team.
Excellent.
And if you're not with somebody while you're listening to it, like if you are with somebody, you can literally play the game while you're taking the training or the courses. But if you're alone, there's going to be videos of people actually playing all these games, so you can see what it looks like before you go and try and replicate it with your own team. And I've even created videos of me explaining the game. So if you're anxious about having to teach it, you can literally just pull it up on a screen, and it will be me saying, hey, everybody partner up, and here's what we're going to do. And it's me explaining it. And there's even a timer on the screen showing how long they're going to be playing each game. So it will allow people to make this kind of content accessible. So you don't have to steal my stuff. You can literally just play a button and I'll do it for you, right? And then also have a component where people can communicate with each other and learn from each other as well. So it's a community where leaders can be, honestly, where they can be vulnerable, admit what's working and what's not working, and hear from other people who are trying it.
But more importantly, you're giving them an opportunity to learn and have fun at the same time. That was absolutely the biggest message that my group got in the session that I was able to participate in, is that there was so much laughter, and they were giggling, and they were poking and jabbing at each other in regards to, oh, I want to be your partner, or, oh my gosh, I this is so difficult, and it was so fun, or I couldn't figure this out. Jon, it's hard to see that in some workplaces now. It's very hard. And a lot of those individuals were individuals that work remote throughout the year and come in. So they didn't know a lot of the people in the room. But after those kind of activities, the relationships were entirely different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my whole thing. Whether you're a remote team or you're in an industry that's not known for a lot of interactivity, whether it's like an accounting firm or like an IT company, you think those people kind of sit in front of a computer by themselves. They don't want to play games. I tell people all the time, I don't know a single person who doesn't want to have fun.
That's exactly right.
But what you have to do is create a safe place where the fun doesn't put them on the spot or make them feel overwhelmed. And when you put people in that environment, they have fun. And then when you're having fun, you're happy. And when you're happy, you literally learn better. So there's no reason not to do this.
I love it. I absolutely, and it has taken me all this time to get you on the show. I am so we even had technical issues, guys, to try to get him on, but I was not going to let him go today. You are going to get busier and busier. And audience, if you have any interest at all and would like to learn more about Jon and his programs, please reach out to him at joncolby.com. And just ask whatever questions. Tell him you saw him here on the show. Again, this is MSN.com's one of the top 10 speakers for 2025. You want him on your agenda for your next entertainment or next event. Jon, anything in last words you'd like to share with the team?
No, just thanks so much for having me. And I appreciate your passion for the energy and helping to spread it. You said you're using some of these games. The more we can get people to be these yes and mindset people, the more positive world we have to live in, right?
And you know what? I tell people all the time, everybody deserves to be excited about going to work. And I know you don't think it as a work. I don't think my job or what I do is work. And we just want everybody else to feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Jon, thanks so very, very much for coming on the show today. And again, if you have any questions or anything, please reach out to Jon. Otherwise, send in your ideas. Remember, we're here to address your concerns, but we have to know what to help you with. Again, thanks for watching The Human Resource.